All right, we live.
All right, shalom, shalom. All right, we the brothers down here in GmsTampa Bay. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, great millstone, well, that taught us the truth. Peace, love, and blessings also to you, brothers on the highway, always getting diligence to make that call and election sure. And also blessings to you few sisters out there listening and learning. Okay. And I'm gonna just read the first precept, hop right into it. This is St. Luke 19, verse 13. All right, and it reads, "And he called his 10 servants, and delivered them 10 pounds, and said unto them, Occupy till I come." Okay, so that's the spirit. Occupy till I come, man. Right, because Yahweh Shai here. All right, more than ever. Okay, so we as servants. All right, we as hopeful men elect. All right, we believe we are the prophets, so we have to occupy until the Lord comes, man. Okay, so we have to keep exalting the names of Yahweh Shem Shai. As Elder Apostle Dahar said earlier today in one of his lessons, you know, we have to keep pushing these prophecies, all right, and that's how we push Yahweh Shem Shai. We exalt his name, we push his word, and we keep pushing these prophecies because why? Through their spirit, all right, they have revealed these prophecies unto us, man. So we have to keep occupying, keep the names of Yahweh Shem Shai out there, keep putting that vibration out there until he actually comes to physically manifest themselves, because he's coming. So we have to keep, occupied, keep the people thinking about Yahweh Shem Shai, keep his name relevant, man. All right. As in old times, his name wasn't well known. All right. So right now we pushing his name. All right. People now starting to wake up. They now starting to call on Yahweh Shem Shai. They now really starting to call on the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Okay. So now that name is going to be glorified. But until then, until he actually come back and physically glorify himself and uplift himself, as he said he would, he will glorify himself. We have to occupy till he come. So we have to keep Yahweh Shem Shai relevant, man. And how do we do that? By teaching his word, all right? By pushing forth this truth, occupying till he come, to be busy with something, man. I forget the exact meaning of what's that?
Being busybody?
Meaning, no, to occupy, to mean be occupied with something. Going to the word occupy. You got it? All right, go ahead.
It's a verb from the mid 1400s. It says, quote, to take possession of and retain, or
Yep.
to take up space or room or time.
Yep.
Employ someone.
Yep, because why? Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, as I said, he's been a long time holding his peace. All right, he haven't really visited the world yet. All right, he's been, sitting back for a minute. All right, now he, as said, 2 Corinthians 15, I will hold my tongue no more, and that starts with the prophets. So we have to hold. It's a line we have to hold. We had a spiritual war. It's the front line. We got to hold that line, man. We have to hold that line and continue to occupy until he actually comes back, man. All right.
So, quick precept.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 11. I'll start at verse 10. Romans 12, verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, honor, preferring one another, not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Okay, real quick, get the word there for business. As it said, be not slothful in business. The word there is G4709, spuda, and it means haste with haste, earnestness, diligence. Okay, so we're not slothful in making haste, which is what? This is the to the coming of the day of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. So what are you supposed to be doing? First and foremost, not slothful in business. Okay?
Be occupied.
Yeah, it's occupied till I come, man. Because you occupying yourself with something, that means you're something that's towards the Lord. That means you working towards Him. You're serving the Lord, man. How can you say that you serve the Lord but you do not his works? Okay. And real quick, because the scriptures even talk about leisure time. You know, when you do have time to, you know, so to say, relax. What are you doing during those leisure times? Okay, are you serving Heavenly Father? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Okay, because this is, you know, this is a prophet. Isn't just a title you put on yourself when you go out to the camps, man. It's not a pro. You're not just well, let me put on my button that says I'm a prophet. Let me put it on now. No, man. Being a prophet is, like the scripture says in Jeremiah, the Lord has chosen you from the beginning, man. Since before you was in your mother's womb. So this is a lifestyle, not a job. Okay? And as we quickly approach the last days, hey, like the Habashai said, shall I find faith upon earth, man? The Lord is getting ready to he's dividing his sheep from everybody else, man. Because his sheep first and foremost going to hear his calling, man. Okay, which is calling to do his work, do my bidding, which is what we're doing. Lord's will we be those men.
This Matthew 9 verse 37. Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, because it's a lot of stuff happening right now. Okay, a lot of prophecies taking place. So, you know, here it is, we at the end, and, you know, just on a physical sense, like the flesh should be like, hold on, you know, hey, we out of here so we can just kind of kick back and, you know, and breeze through. No, we at the end, it's actually more work to be done now than it is more than ever. The scriptures speak about the book was open before the firmament. Okay, so you got a lot of people waking up in these times, a lot of people seeking the Lord. Okay, a lot of stuff is happening. Esau's moving at a fast pace. Okay, and at the same time, you got people waking up every day just coming into this thing. So we have to constantly push out this work, constantly do these videos, man. We are the laborers, man. You know, we are the workforce. Going once again, we got to be occupied in this. Okay, so it says the harvest is. Then said he unto the disciples, the harvest is plenty, so it's plenty of work to do. Especially now more so than ever. There's plenty of prophecies taking place, so it's plenty of things to speak on. Okay, it says, but the laborers are few. Okay, the next verse it says, pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into the harvest. So we've come into this harvest what to labor. Okay, it's ripe. Right? So go back into Luke 11:19. It's like 19 verse 13 again. It says, and he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy until I come. All right, and that's what I got. You know, the next brother.
I got a quick. Oh, go ahead, bro.
All right, going into the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, starting at verse 11. It says, these things command and teach. Verse 12, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word and conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. All right, so this is what the brother has been going. He's been going into hinting until Yahushua comes, his second coming. All right, what should your conversation be? All right, you should be in the faith. You should be an example unto the believers. All right, because like the brother said, new believers are coming in. They're waking up. All right, so this is the time that the workers, Yahushua is supposed to be working. Right?
It's putting up videos every day. You know, if you can push that, you know, that's the goal. Push forth to put up videos every day, man. Because it's, you know, the herald. We're heralding the coming of the Lord. You know, ringing the alarm. You know. Go ahead.
Yeah, because my brother Quan brought out the etymology of occupy. One part said to employ someone. You know, so you go into employment. Ultimately, you go into occupation. You know, say that the spirit of prophecy is subject onto the prophet. We believe that we're the Lord's servants and prophets. Speaking about others, apostles on down, what we're supposed to be doing, we're supposed to be prophesying, right? So I'll get this quick precept. This Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 23 says, "Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promise." Right? So, going to profession, ultimately, professing meaning you're declaring something. Let's talk about, heralding the kingdom, but, your profession, think about your paid employee, right? So our hire, okay, us going into, again, hopefully doing the Lord's servants prophets, why to prophesy? Every man is his talent, the Lord's money that He given us, pretty much alone, bring forth fruit. Like what? Fruit meet for repentance. Because again, going into prophecy that a majority of people are going to wake up very soon via the Lord giving His men spiritual powers, giving them the ability to heal and do miracles, right? And they have a lot of questions, going into the influx. So that's why the Lord needs strong leaders to be able to handle that, when pretty much the labor, gets heavy. People are going to start asking simple questions. You got to be able to able to arm yourself and deal with them because they never heard this stuff before. Men that have been doing this thing for 20, 30 plus years still, speak plain language, So that's really the education that the Lord is doing as far as grooming us to be able to lead the greatest people upon the planet Earth, right? Going into the Israelites. But that was a quick piece of that.
Hey, and that workload. That's why you see the spirit on Elder Tahar. Go back into those breakdowns. Stuff like back to the basics. All those things. Continue to prophesy. Keep bringing out those prophecies. Okay, because right now things are happening. All right, and the elect are going to inquire. What's going on. The elect are going to go searching. All right, the scripture say they have a zeal, so the elect is very zealous. So now in these times, what they seeking and searching after the truth. Now if they be of the elect, they're gonna be brought to the gospel, to the truth. Okay, and we, it has to be food out there. That's why scripture say, be instant in season and out of season. Okay, so I got this real quick. This is Revelation 2 verse 25. It says, "But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come." Okay, so here it is. Now I was watching the brother video. That which you have, hold fast till I come. I was watching the brother video, and pretty much it's like, here it is. We in the times where these prophecies are taking place, and you got, the news, the media, is losing grip of the narrative now that more people are watching more alternative news. Okay, but you still got a lot of people still watching the news, being scared by these whole numbers that they propping up, going with this whole CVID thing. Okay, so that which we have, hold fast. What the prophecies? Okay, everything that we've spoken of, all the things that we prophesied is going to happen, and that's an act of faith. All right, that's the good fight of faith, because we're fighting, right, to hold on to this belief, to hold on to this gospel, to hold fast to what we've been taught, and what to keep striving forth to it. So here it is. We at the end now. Don't be questioning whether this thing is is this really going to happen the way it's happening. All right, yes, it's going in the direction that we have been prophesying, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It's going in the exact direction. So we have to be confident in what we're saying, man. We have to be confident in these words, confident in this gospel, confident in these prophecies. Okay, that the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, is coming. All right, all roads lead to the mark of the beast in that age. And in the midst of that, Yahweh is going to return. So that what we have, hold fast till He come. So you can't be wavering now, like, question at the end, like, I don't know if this really going to come. Like, look, we got the truth. Okay, everything we prophesied is going to go in that exact direction. It's going to go that way, man. The prophecies are going to be fulfilled. The Lord is a man that He shall not lie. Okay. Stick to the words. So read that again. It says, "But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." Okay. So once again, going back into occupy till He comes. So it's like, we at the end now, and bro, we just, you sit back and think, we just gotta hang on tight. He coming. Just maintain doing what you're doing. Watch after the flock. All right, because when you go into that parable, Matthew's the 19th chapter, all right, and like around the 13th verse, anytime any brother got something, let me know because I can keep going. But
I got something, but
all right, yeah, real quick. This point, Matthew's 19. It's like in Luke 19 and 13, because that whole point of occupying till he comes, and it reads one sec, Luke 19 verse 13, and it says, and he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. But his citizens hated him and sent a message after him saying, we will not have this man to reign over us. And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound hath gained 10 pounds. And he said unto them, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over cities. And what? That's that faithful servant that took the Lord's money, all right, and traded it, and he gained. Okay, and he say it again.
fruits of his labor.
Yeah, fruits of his labor. So he gained, man. Okay, so whatever. That's why seek your own salvation with fear and trembling. Everybody got their own channel. Everybody putting up their videos. All right, and you might have one or two people that just fly by and watch the channel, whatever the case may be. But that little bit, you constantly putting up videos, that's you watching after the flock. So that little bit that you have, you have to occupy that till he comes. All right. And at the same time, you have to check yourself. You have to examine yourself. Yeah, you have to stay in the spirit. And at the same time, you have a flock, all right, that you have to look after. And you do that by feeding them every day. What Yahweh asked Peter, if ye love me, feed my sheep. So we have to, it's like we juggling. We have to maintain the state of the flock until Yahweh returns, man. Because he's near. But we have to occupy. It's like, it's like you getting the anticipation is so heavy. It's like, man, we so close to the point, we want to get lackadaisical, but we can't. You have to maintain that little bit that you have, just that little bit. And what? You've been faithful over a few, the Lord will make you Lord over many. But you have to maintain it. You have to endure unto the end. Okay?
Real quick, this is brother Ariel, you had something?
It's gonna be a minute, so go. It's a few scriptures, so go ahead.
Kind. This is Isaiah 2 and verse 6. Isaiah 62 and 6, it says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. Okay, so ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence, man. And he said, neither held their peace, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Okay, and that's what you're supposed to be doing, man. Making mention of the Lord, because matter of fact, let me keep reading. It says, verse 7, it says, no rest till he established until he made Jerusalem a praise in the earth. And real quick, let me read up above to verse 1. Isaiah 62, verse 1, it says, for Zion's sake I will not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest. So the Lord isn't holding his peace, and the Lord is not taking his rest. Then why are you at peace? Why are you holding your peace? Why are you resting? The scriptures talk about this is not our rest. Okay? There's no inch or ounce of your body that's at rest right now, man. Because the Lord ain't. The Lord ain't at rest. The Lord ain't holding his peace for our sake. So the least we can do is not hold our peace and be what's the word? Be productive in the job that you've been given, man. Okay, for lack of a better term, but being productive. Okay, in this thing. Okay, because I use the analogy. The scriptures talk about this being living waters, man. There's no life in stagnant water. You find a little retention pond, and all you're gonna find is a bunch of scum and maybe some abominable shit in there. But you're not gonna find life. Fish can't live in a that water isn't moving. There isn't oxygen flowing through the water, man. Okay, and that's how this word is. This word, like the Lord said, he who calleth upon my name, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, the word is the scripture said flow. So that's in reference of movement. Okay? And in this truth, that's how you have to be in that moving spirit, because you gotta be doing the job, man, the work. Okay, not holding your peace, not being on your leads. Okay, it's like the scripture says that there's many men out there. Okay, but you got it. Whoever got it next.
Khan, yeah, good point though. So in the book of Sirach, and I believe you quoted it a little earlier, Mayim, the book of Sirach, the 38th chapter, the 24th verse. I'm gonna read on down though. It says, "The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise." So it starts with what? Us in our leisure time, like the brother Kanakala was saying when we started off the lesson, that we got to be occupied in serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, occupied and feeding the sheep. This is our job. This is the only job that the Lord really gave us to do. All right. He said, "You love me, feed my sheep." So now here it is. The brothers, like the brother said, we got our own channels, our own separate channels that we have to tend to, and keep keep the spirit flowing on them. You might have a brother or two that watches them. Hey, you got to feed that brother. All right. So we're occupied in the labors of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, rather than occupied in the manner of the world. I'll read it again and read on. It says, "The wisdom of a learned man comes by the opportunity of leisure." So in your leisure time, what are you doing? You're building up in the spirit. All right. And it says, "And he that have little business shall become wise." How can he get wisdom that holdeth the plow, and that glorieth in the goad, and driveth oxen, and is occupied in the labors, and whose talk is of bullocks? Meaning that if you're just occupied in your worldly work, because we all have jobs. All right, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. We all have jobs out here, and we all have to put food on our table. We have our own business we have to do in the world, but we balance it out, because really the only work that really matters in this day and age, where we're at right now, is the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It's pushing out the prophecies, the duty of a prophet. All right, we are the watchmen, and like the brother just read, we ain't gonna be holding our peace day nor night. We over there, we're pushing, we're exalting Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're blessing the holy name, and that's the only real thing that's on our mind right now is the kingdom of heaven, is the end prophecies, is righteousness. Those are the things that are on our mind right now, and so those are the things that we want to always talk about. Those are the things that we always want to be occupied in, is righteous work. That's the only thing that really matters. Everything else is neither here nor there. Yeah, we got to work. All right, we got to put on the mask for work. When we go out in the world and deal with people, but ultimately, where our mind is at is occupied in the works of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, not in the works of we got to plow the field, and I got to count my money. None of that really matters right now. It says in verse 26, it says, "He giveth his mind to make furrows, and is diligent to give the kind fodder. So every carpenter and workmaster that laboreth night and day, and they that cut the grave seals, and are diligent to make great variety, and give themselves to counterfeit imagery, to watch and finish a work." And then it goes on, basically. I'm gonna get a point though. Let me just cut through a little bit. Let me skip down to verse 31. It says, "All these trust in their hands, and every one is wise in his work. And without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they cannot dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be sought for a public council, nor sit in a high congregation. They shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of a judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken," because they're not doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's not really their occupation. Their occupation is this and that in the world. Our occupation is the hand of judgment, justice, and we sit in the councils basically of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. In the last verse, it says, "But they will maintain a state of the world, and all their desire is in the world." It's in the work of their craft. So their desire is in the work of their crafts, of their hand, what they can do with their hands. Oh, I could, I'm a carpenter. I could do, I build houses. That's all you're occupied in. That's all you care about. You don't care about the prophecy. You don't care about the digital currency about pop off. You don't care about World War III. You're not even focused on that. You're not even paying attention to that. You're not paying attention to everything going on in the world right now. You could care less. You want to care about, I got, these different contracts that I got to fulfill. That's all you care about. So that's your occupations. But I'm gonna go into the first verse of the next chapter. You brothers know what it is. Sirach chapter 39, verse 1. It says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and will be occupied in prophecies." So that's the lot of the prophets. That's our lot. And it's a heavy lot. I'll admit. Nobody asked, none of us asked to do this. None of us really, oh yeah, I want to be a prophet when I grow up. No, we all had our different ambitions when we was growing up as youngsters, and became men. We wanted to do different things in the world, but the Spirit had us to serve the Most High, all right, and to be occupied in the meditation of the law, and to be and to be occupied in prophecies. That's where our mind is at. The end of this place, not keeping it going on. We don't want to keep this place going on. All right, we want to see it end. All right, we want to bring in the righteous kingdom. So we have to basically hold on to our duty as a prophet. All right, because we're all individuals, but we all have we all serve the same power, and we all have the same end goal, which is the kingdom of heaven, and for this place to ultimately fall, and so that the righteous kingdom could come in. But the only way the righteous kingdom could come in is if we prophesy. That's the only way. All right, you got it, brothers.
Hey, real quick, to add on a little bit, because I actually had that precept. I want to read verse 6 through 8. It says, "When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with this with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentence and give thanks unto the Lord and his prayers. He shall direct his counsel and knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate. He shall show forth that which he hath learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord." And like the brothers was going into, being occupied in this here prophecy, being occupied in this here work, it's a full-time job, and it's going to also show forth in certain things, like when we're out in our everyday walk, we just look like regular guys, and people may be having conversations or bring up certain things in conversations, and then, we may overhear it and pick up on it, and then they look at us weird, like, damn, how you know so much about this topic or that topic, and so on and so forth. And then they just don't realize that we're very well versed in a lot of things. People get caught off guard about, even us going into history about a lot of things. They're like, damn, how y'all know these things? Well, that's because, being occupied and searching out these things, Let me read one more.
Real quick before you read on, that's a good point, because I remember a couple of weeks ago at camp, that actually happened when that one guy came up to camp and he asked a couple of questions, and I remember Ashra speaking, and that brother went, he went into a lot of deep subjects, and the man that was listening asking him questions, he was like, oh wow, these men know, they're, like you said, well versed and a lot of different subjects in the world, and you wouldn't think so by looking at us, but guess what, brothers are we're occupied in the work of the Lord. That's why. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, Khan, just one more little quick precept on Sirach chapter 36. Let me read from verse 11 down to 16 real quick. It says, "Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning. O Yahweh, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest, and fill Zion with thy unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name, and reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful." So again, reading in this here, just this short little passage here, the Lord clearly set forth like they put out a job posting or whatever. It says, "Gather all the tribes of Israel." That was a task at hand. All right. Then he raised up the prophets that were from beforehand. All right. And gave them the testimony to go forth and to prophesy and to gather all the tribes of Israel. All right. In the last verse 16, it says, "Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful." You know, and to translate that in a carnal sense, like in today's terms, you know, it's just like, you know, if you go to a job, you know, and you're contracted out to do a work to build a house, let's say, and, you know, the person that's in charge leaves and comes back, and he notices the job isn't done. It's like, yo, y'all are right where I started at, you know, when I left. You know, nothing's being done. I'm not going to pay you for these things. But if that contractor leaves and comes back and sees that the job is done, okay, good job. You get paid, you get rewarded for that their job, you know. So wanted to bring that out just to show forth is, you know, being occupied in this thing. It's like a full-time job, you know. This is where we have to put our you know, our main focus at, you know. But go ahead, brothers.
Yeah. This is Mark chapter 13, verse 34. It says, for the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Right, so, you know, going into Yahweh, you know, where is he at? He's on the right side of the Father. So, you know, him being in the heavens right now, he gave every man his work. You know, going into, again, the order of things, how we have apostles and elders and teachers, as far as the, you know, the doctrine goes. So it's not blasphemy, you know. So our work is to prophesy, you know, because going to Jonathan chapter, it goes into Yahweh, you know, saying, I'm the good shepherd, right? And the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. You know, so ultimately, you know, like, you know, going to a ship, you know, the success of the ship depends on the captain. Because you think about sheep, they're flocking animals, you know, so they follow a leader. So our people need a leader. As it says in Isaiah 53rd chapter, it says, we all like sheep have gone astray, every man his own way. You know, so, you know, this gathering by the word, okay, is, you know, going into our job. You know, faith comes by hearing. So if nobody's prophesying, how can faith be on the earth? You know, these men that the Lord's dealing with, they're prophesying, you know, and that's why, again, ultimately, this is going into our life, how important God is, because this is a big part of the Lord's story, how, again, this gathering of the word of the greatest people on earth is being professed by the words of Yahweh Shai, right? But that was the piece.
This is St. Matthew's 24, and St. Matthew's 24 and verse 42. Pretty much like saying what the brother going into it, just reading down a little bit more. St. Matthew 24 and verse 42, it says, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. You know, and that's why the scriptures say also in the New Testament, you know, that the scriptures say your Lord doth come as a thief in the night. You know, so I don't have to warn you of these things because we already know how Yahweh is coming. That's why the scriptures speak about, you know, watching as well as praying, because if the spirit of Yahweh is on you, you're going to be occupied in prophecies, man. You're going to be locked into what's taking place around the world. What's the events that Yahweh said is going to happen, backed up by the prophets. Okay, he said he come not to destroy the law or the prophets, but to fulfill it. So you're going to be watching things that's taking place across the four corners of the earth and seeing how it ties into his return. You know, it says, verse 43, but know this, that if the good man of the house had not known and what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Verse 44, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. And it says, be ready. And that's why in Revelation, it speaks about, blessed is he that keepeth his garments, all right, because I come as a thief, lest he walk naked. And that's not talking about a literal being naked. That's talking about being naked of the fact that Yahweh outside, okay, it's real, man. He's here. He exists. By the prophecies.
As I was going to say, you know, it goes into how important it is for leadership for our people, because it says in Isaiah, it says people calls them to err, you know, because again, our people, again, liking them onto sheep, they need true leadership. John 10 chapter, right? It was going to those hirelings that see the wolf coming, and they're going to flee. You know, the wolf coming is Esau, okay? You know, him putting out this chip, you know, and trying to chip all our people, you know, to where we're going to be cut off and destroyed. If nobody's watching these things, watch this man. This man's going to overdo prophecy. Right?
And real quick, as the brother said, the wolf coming and the hireling's going to leave. So here it is now. You saw an individual recently just, you know, had to backtrack saying it's not going to be no Jacob's trouble. Because why? He see the wolf. he see the direction that this place is going into. Obviously, he see that trouble coming. That's why he backtracked and said that I said we wasn't Jacob's trouble now, but there is going to be a time of Jacob's trouble. Because why? He sees the trouble coming. All right? He sees the trouble coming. Because it's trouble coming. Everybody can see. You know, the future is not too promising. Elder Apostle the hardest did a lesson today, the grinding shall cease. Grinding ceasing, that's a time of trouble. That's that because why? Without work, you can't put food on the table. Without work, you can't keep a roof over your head. All right? Without work, you can't put clothes on your back.
Without work, you ain't got no faith.
Yeah. You know? So we see it's time, it's clearly a time of trouble coming, man. Okay? And it's up for us to warn. That's why we always go into, that'll never get old to me, going to Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all because why? It's happening right now as we speak, man. What do you mean? So we have to keep warning you every day. We bring out the mark of the beast. Every day, brother, you can do a lesson on the mark every single day. Because why? Something is happening. Something is on that path of that prophecy every day. Okay? Every day there's an article coming about how people can't return back to work the jab. All right? Everybody should switch to Bitcoin. All right? It's out there. So you can do a lesson every day concerning the mark of the beast, man, which is the RFID chip. It's coming. It's here. All right? I got a quick precept. This is Ezekiel 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So when we come out, we make these lessons, we speaking to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, and also the Israelite foreigners that may look like the other nations scattered throughout the world. This is for you. All right? This word that we bring is for you, man. It says, therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. So we have a boss, man. An austere boss at that. The austere, what that one servant said, he say, I knew that thou was an austere man. So I hid the talent. So you knew you had an austere boss that wasn't playing no shit. But you went and was lackadaisical about it. You didn't move and push the word. So you done. So what? We are a watchman unto the house of Israel. We giving you warning from Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, because why? He's the one, he's the power, the living power that's controlling and governing all the things that happen on the earth. Okay? Verse 18. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Did not Paul say, woe is me if I preach not the gospel? Okay? So if you ain't doing his work, all right, and you able-bodied, and you receive talents, all right, talents is a representation of knowledge, because not every brother going to be on the same level as knowledge. Some brothers are going to know a little bit more about the scriptures than others, all right? Well, if you able-bodied and you receive a portion of the spirit, a portion of this knowledge, okay, if you're not preaching his word, if you're not being occupied in his word and actually warning the flock, giving them food convenient, okay, you are going to die, man. Not only is the wicked going to die, but you are going to die. Their blood is going to be accounted for your hands because you wasn't out there to warn them. Okay? So we have a job. The mark of the beast is coming. Jacob's trouble is coming. A time like no other is coming, man. Sedition is coming. Mm-hmm. All right? We were prophesying it's happening right now. The latest incident in Texas. Okay? People's power were literally cut off on them. The storm didn't cut out the power. They cut off the power. All right? And that's a test run for what's going to happen throughout all America. Elder Tahar prophesied it a month or two back. Prepare your minds because blackouts is coming. There it is, a blackout in Texas. They literally cut off their power, man. You know? So it ain't like this is some conspiracy. They coming out saying, they giving you an excuse on why they cut out the power, saying, oh, if we don't cut out the power, then we're going to risk our whole power grid from being cut off. So they let you know, yeah, we cut it off, but it was for this reason. You know, they lying to you at the end of the day. But they let you know, like, look, and we finna cut off your power too, for whatever reason. But we gonna cut your power off. We gonna give you a reason, but we cut off your power, man. You know?
See Matthew 24, verse 45, it says, then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord have made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season.
Yep, so there's a reward coming. The Lord made us ruler over his household, and what? And if we occupy, if we stand upon our watch, you gotta look at it. Really put your mind into this truth, man. The Lord has given you a position, all right, to hold. You have to hold that position, okay, until he comes back. So who then is that wise and faithful servant? So the Lord gave you a lot, a position to hold, and you have to stand upon your watch. All right? Even unto death. If it consists of you losing your life, man. Because why, at the end of the day, we hold the testimony of Yahweh Shai, man. The testimony was the spirit of prophecy. And as we can see, the persecution is coming. Elder Rombach just did a video today. The word is out. They say, oh, black Hebrew Israelites, they're getting more militant, man. All right, talking about we on some terrorist type shit. But everybody knows we're non-violent people, man. But what? We hold the testimony of Yahweh Shai, man, which is the prophecy, and we got to hold that testimony unto the end. Who then is that wise and faithful servant? You, and that's you holding your faith, holding on to those wholesome words, those faithful words. Okay? Unto death. The scripture say they shall deliver some of you up to the synagogues, and they shall ask of you a testimony. But be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right? Not when shit get hot, the heat get turned up, they demonize us, and oh, now you're not an Israelite no more. Oh, you don't believe in that no more. What's all? They took Yahweh Shai's words. They came up and say, this man said he will destroy the temple in 3 days and rebuild it. Even though Yahweh Shai was referring to spiritual, talk about his body, all right? They took it physical. Yo, this the man that said he was going to destroy the temple. Now, I think Yahweh Shai rebuttal on those words because they brought charges up on him concerning that? No, he stuck to those exact words. Because why? Ultimately, they coming for the testimony. It's the truth, the testimony, the words that we speak. That's why they coming at us. All right? Treason is called treason, man. That's why they coming at us, because of the testimony that we hold, man. Yeah, a so-called alien invasion is coming to destroy this kingdom, to take you out of rulership. America's gonna be destroyed. Babylon the Great is gonna be destroyed. Okay, that's the testimony we hold. We ain't doing it, but for the simple fact that we speak these words. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that just shows, we going to cause effect. Esau is really going down deep to plot against what we believe in. Because he's put all this energy and effort and resources to come up against us. Because he knows ultimately in the spirit that this is the only way that we're going to overcome. Because it says in Revelation 12 chapter, it says we overcame them by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Exactly. And they led not their lives unto death. So that's why he wants to take it from us, because this is our ticket, to get out of here, our fate. He's designed to take that away from us. But the elect, they're not going to be deceived, and they're going to hold fast to the end. Go ahead.
You got it, bro. This is 24 verse 46. It says, blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. So being, like the brother said, even if, because, the person is coming, and that's what's these guys out here that's feeding this baloney doctrine rather than sound doctrine, man. Because they're going to have to answer to the fact of why is the RFID to them. Exactly. Okay. They're going to have to answer to the fact of what's going on. You told us that, this, I just seen the brother posting in WhatsApp, a goddamn Passover fashion show, man. So they're going to have to answer for why is the Lord not being taken serious? You see, so this, and that's why in 2 Ezra 16, around 74, says, then shall be known who are my chosen. And the Lord is going to try to do the fire, and they shall come out as gold, man. So the Lord is going to be with his elect ultimately, man. But we got a whole post. All right, and real quick, if I make this real quick, bro, this word here, conservant, in the etymology, the word conservant, it says having power or quality of preserving from decay or destruction. So the elect brothers have the power, okay, to constantly build rather than seeing the foundation or the building of the tabernacle decay or be destroyed. We have the spirit, we have the power or the quality to preserve it from decaying, man. We're conservant in the truth. It says a little bit more. It says to keep, preserve, keep intact, guard. All right, so we're guarding. We're on our watchtower, like the brother brought out in Isaiah 62 and 6. We're standing upon our watch. We're guarding. All right, being overseers over the flock, which the Spirit made us overseers over, man. Constantly, day by day. You see, as we see the day approach.
This is real quick. Matthew 10 and 22. Matthew 10 and 22. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endured to the end shall be saved. And we read earlier, I forget which brother read it, about he that maketh mention of the Lord, keep not silent, man. Yeah. So if you're going to be hated for the Lord's sake, the reason why persecution is going to come to you is because you've been working, people see what the hell you've been doing, and they're going to be like, oh, this was this guy that's been making these
like
videos. Exactly, just like Peter did.
You was one of them.
Yep, because he was there with you outside doing the work. Otherwise, why are you gonna get? If you getting persecuted and you haven't been doing his work, then that means you're just getting persecuted for for your own bullshit.
Yep.
Okay, you're not getting persecuted for the Lord's sake. You know, because the scriptures talk about blessed is he who is persecuted for my name's sake. Kind of get that.
Right. Matthew 5 verse 10. Yep. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Righteousness' sake, for not keeping silence, man. For not, because we can continue to make mention of the Lord, because that's our duty, man. That's what the Lord has given us the unction to do. Okay, but the scriptures talk about blessed is he who's persecuted for righteousness' sake.
As I'm saying, because what we're doing is working. Going into our faith and chanting down this place. This is really bothering Esau, because it says in Isaiah 47 chapter, it says he's wearied the multitude of his counsel. There's first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they want to kill you, then you win. So now this man is going to try to come down with the sword because we're getting ready to win. He's ultimately, again, he's loses his mind, as the saying also says, don't let them see sweat. So he's not going to show you that he's bugged out. He's terrified, he's scared, because he can't show you that, because ultimately he's a devil, he's a liar, the devil the Bible speaks of. But know that this thing is really bothering him, and how he has to bring it up to where now he's going to have to try to put his hands on us, and that's his end, right? So he knows that. He doesn't have time. That's why Revelation 12 and 12 always gets brought up, right?
Since for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Theirs is the kingdom of heaven, man. Those that are doing the bidding of the Lord, man. Because that's what they're going to be rewarded. For their labors. That's the fruit of their labors is. The fruit of the labor of the elect is going to be the kingdom of heaven, man. Being joint heirs with Yahushua, getting that crown by Yahushua, man. That's what you work towards. Run that no man. What does the scripture say? Run that you may obtain the prize. Okay, what's the prize? You ain't gonna see it on this side. If you're expecting some type of reward on this side, then you're doing it for the wrong things, man. And that's where guys come in, trying to make money and be all this and be that. That's not what you're supposed to be doing for in this truth. Okay? The scriptures talk about, buy the truth, sell it not. We ain't doing this. We ain't pushing this truth out to make a monetary gain from it, man. That's not what this truth is about. The truth is about doing the work of the Lord so that he may reward us, man. Brothers have used the word acceptable a couple times today. Acceptable men are going to be tried in the furnace of adversity, man, but nonetheless, acceptable men. And how are you going to be tried if you're not doing that? You can't call yourself, oh, I made it onto the football team, and you never even went to the tryouts. What did you do? Oh, you the coach's son. Well, that don't fly on this side. Not even Yahushua had to do his work. Okay, like Matthew chapter 10 says, the servant is not above his master. If they persecuted Yahushua, they're going to persecute you. And the reason they don't persecute you is because you're doing the work, just like how Shai was doing the work. He told his own parents, "Know ye not that I'm about my father's business?" Like, yo, I got work to do. I can't be worried about how you feel or this or that, man. We're out here to do the work of the Lord, man. That's point blank and period. What's the whole duty of man? To fear the Lord and to follow His commandments. There's a special select of men, which are the prophets, who the Lord has revealed His secrets onto, and those men have a little bit more to do. Their job also includes to warn the people, and that's what they still falls under the following of the commandments. But the elect have an additional commandments than the rest of the Israelites, the rest of the 2/3, because the 2/3 their job is to be a 2/3 right now. That's their job, and guess what? They're doing it. Esau's job is to be the sword, and guess what? He's doing it. So if you've been given this knowledge and understanding, why aren't you doing the work? Everybody else doing what they're supposed to be doing. The work, the birds wake you up every morning. Okay, you see the crows doing what they're supposed to be doing. You see the crabs doing what they're supposed to be doing. You see Esau doing what he's supposed to be doing. What's your excuse? Why can't you do what you're supposed to do? Well, see the way my bank account is set up. Nah, man, all that bullshit. The hell with your excuses, man. Because guess what they mean at the end of the day? You don't give a damn about the Lord, man. That means like the parable where they one by one started making.
I got it right here.
Wife, you got it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I may. The book of Luke, the 14th chapter, I'll start at verse 16. It says, "And he said unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many." This is Yahushai's words. "And sent his servant at supper time to say unto them that were bidden, Come, for all these things are now ready. And they all with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must needs to go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused." And that actually reminds me of that dude up in Detroit, because I remember he said that one dude, he had bought land, and he's like, I got stuff to do. I bought a house, and he had never made a video again. It says, verse 19, it says, "And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee that I be excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that servant came and showed his lord these things, and the master of the house, being angry, said unto the servant, Go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maimed, and the halt and the blind. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room." Verse 23, "And the Lord said unto the servant, Go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled." And that's what we're doing. All right. The Lord asked us to do this. We're going out in the highways and hedges so that the Lord's house may be filled. We don't have no excuse. All right. We all can make up anything we want to make up. Oh, I gotta work. I gotta work on the weekend. Oh, I gotta, yeah, I don't feel good. My stomach hurts. Or you can make any excuse in the book. And people are doing that. All right. People are doing that on a daily basis. And these other different alphabet camps. All right. There's one excuse after another for not serving the Lord. All right. There's always something else that's more important in this world rather than serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And brothers have been doing this for years without taking breaks. And we got to come up with any excuse. But no, we brothers, through the spirit and power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and Lord willing, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua continues to keep the spirit on us to serve him as we are doing, and even better, even more so as we continue to get closer to the end. But this isn't anything we chose to do. This is something that's already in us through the spirit. And there is no excuse for you not to serve the Lord, especially after you found out the truth. Here it is. You got all this beautiful knowledge, all this deep, dark wisdom, and you're just gonna hold it to yourself, or worse, you're gonna take it for granted and ultimately forget about it to go into the world and go back into the world and serve your own belly. The Lord's gonna have judgment for you. The Lord's gonna judge you heavily for that. We're in a time of heavy judgment. You see the things happening in the world right now. You got people freezing to death in Texas. Freezing to death. Dying of exposure. These things are happening every day. Imagine freezing to death in a car. Imagine that. That's judgment from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. These are the things happening here in Babylon. This week. All right? This isn't just some ancient history. No, these are the things happening in a couple of days ago. And these people, these are Jakes. A lot of them are Jakes. Some of them are Edomites and such and such. But, we're speaking to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. This word is for you. And you want to do this and that in the world. And the brother brought up, the Passover thing. You have a fashion show with the Passover. You're not even considering the Lord. You're not even considering what the Lord is requiring of you. This is all about you and your personal gain. That's why the Lord is bringing judgment to the world. There is no excuse. We all got the word. We all got the instructions. Now it's time to show and prove. Are you really about this truth, or are you about something else? You're either in or you're not. All this riding the fence shit, the Lord ain't with it. That's why the Lord said, if you lukewarm, He's gonna spew you out. All this riding the fence shit, this is gonna cut it. I believe, but yeah, I ain't really, I ain't trying to really do all that. I got things to do. I'm trying. I got to get this money. That's the mindset you want. Then the Lord's gonna confound you all your plans as we get closer and closer to the end of this thing. And I'm saying that as serious as I can, because that's a lot of Jakes are really in that mindset right now of just serving their own belly. You brothers got it though.
Yeah, I got a quick one real quick. Just to add on to what you were going into, Ezekiel 34 goes a lot into that. But I'm gonna read Ezekiel 34. I'm gonna start at verse 1 and read through 3. It says, "And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel, prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh power unto the shepherds, Woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with wool. You kill them that are fed, but you feed not the flock." And going further into this, just like the brothers was going into, you have, some of these guys in these camps that's going out here and have your minds occupied on the wrong things, like fashion shows. You're feeding your own belly, but you're not really, like I said, you can read the whole chapter, but I'll read a little bit of verse 4. It says, "The disease have you not strengthened, neither have you healed that which was sick, neither have you bound up that which was broken, neither have you brought in again that was driven away, neither have you sought that which was lost, but with force and cruelty have you ruled them." So we're in a time now where we're dealing with the valley of the dry bones. Our people don't really know too much of things. This is why we have to make our bodies living sacrifices, go into a lot of these articles and prophecies and precepts, and then break it down and into milk to feed our people. All right, to educate our people on these things and how to like the scripture say, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time. So how are people supposed to know these things if they're just but babes? You got to sit there and feed them. All right, but then you have these other camps and these other groups that are more focused on bizarre things. Here we go. We didn't have just went through 2020. We're looking at 2021 and seeing what's going on with that. You got the Passover coming up, and then you have these other groups or these other shepherds out here talking about fashion shows. Trying to be in the spirit of mirth and things like that, man. When these are the dire times where prophecy is speaking loud and clear, man. All right, but the Lord has a controversy against you, because look, at a time when the sheep is the most dire time for the sheep, for you to look after them, just to give an example, like in the summertime, it may be fine to just kind of like, take your eye off them for a second. They're not going to really get harmed, but it's in the middle of the dead winter in a blizzard, and you decide to take your eye off the sheep, or in the middle of a hurricane, you decide to take your eye off the sheep, then that's the most time you should focus on them, when danger is right there in the face of the sheep, man. And we see that these last prophecies are coming to play, man. So now more than ever, we should be really up on top of these things and minding after the sheep. More and more people are waking up. The mark of the beast is being more prevalent and more pronounced. They're rushing out these jabs and everything like that. And there's a lot of questions going on amongst our people, man. So we shouldn't be focusing on fashion shows and things like that, man, but feeding the sheep. All right? That's all I got, brothers.
This is, we'll close out on this unless, yeah, you got something.
I don't. Go ahead.
Fine. Let me find it first. Okay, here it is. This is Nahum chapter 3 and verse 5. Nahum chapter 3 and verse 5, it says, Behold, I am against thee. Talking about the well-favored harlot, which is America. It says, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. Okay, so how's the Lord revealing the whore, man? How's the Lord lifting up the skirts? It's through his prophets. Because the Lord has revealed unto us, like, look, you see that hole over there? That bitch done had it all. She done had chlamydia. She had this. She's playing this dude like that, and this other person. And we know we got the inside scoop. So now we telling everybody that we can, every place we go, hey, look out for this whore right here, man. So how else is this place going to get exposed unless those men that have the secrets go out there and tell people, man? Okay, lest our people, because what we've been telling the people, just like the scriptures talk about, be sober, be vigilant, because the devil, your adversary, the devil, seeketh whom he may devour, something like that, roughly paraphrasing, you know. But hey, being sober, being vigilant, okay, meaning being on your toes, man, being clear-minded, knowing what to do and how to do it, okay, watching, reading, okay, doing all these things so that this place can be revealed and the Lord can come back and judge it, man. Okay, because the more this whore gets exposed, the more she's gonna kick and scream. Okay, because that's the nature of a woman. When she's in the wrong, she's trying to make you look bad, and that's what we're getting ready to do, man. And how are we gonna push this devil to do what he needs to do if we just sit around like a church house mouse? Okay, you can't. She ain't gonna. She gonna be like, oh, nobody's seeing me because nobody's exposing her. But the Lord has select men that are out here exposing this whore, letting people know what's going on, and people are starting to wake up to see like, oh shit, that bitch is filthy. I have been drinking from that cup of wine that she's been giving me. Shit, now you looking at this. Now the world is looking at this whore kind of strange, man. I don't know about her, man. Maybe them dudes are right, but that's the time that we coming into. Okay, we're gonna come to the time of what's that? Ezekiel 33 and 33. Then shall they know that a prophet has been amongst them. Okay, that's the time period. How are you gonna know? How are people gonna know that you was a prophet when you wasn't saying nothing? The word prophet means to say before. So how are you a prophet, man, but you ain't doing nothing? You ain't even talking. You ain't out there in the weekend, week outs. You don't do your videos, and in your daily walk, you ain't there. You ain't doing the job of a prophet, man. But you calling yourself a prophet. You shalom to all my other fellow laborers, but you ain't laboring. How should I say? Who is my brother? Who is my mother? Who is my sister? Who is my father? But he that doeth the will of my Father, the same as my mother, my brother, my sister, the rest. He that doeth the will of my Father. Okay? And the will of the Heavenly Father is for this place to get condemned, 2/3 of our people get judged, and to see the words of the Lord play out. That's the will of the Father. You got to figure out where you fit in that plot. And that's between you and the Most High. Anything else, brothers? Anything else, Akim, out there?
Negative.
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, so with that, we want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. The one I said the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Much blessing and salutations to Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out his truth and his truth and sincerity. And hey, man, the doors are closing quick, man. So if you trying to figure things out, hey, you best to move quick, man, because those doors is about to close, and once they're closed, there ain't no coming in. There ain't no trying to figure things out when these doors are closed. Because once those doors close, hey, like my mom used to tell me, you're gonna be sleeping outside with the dogs. Once the door is closed and your ass ain't inside, you're sleeping outside with the dogs. So, hey, get on point, man, because the Lord, behold, that come quickly. Okay? And like the brother read earlier, no one knows the hour where the master. All right? And just real quick before we close, too, there's the whole thing in the Old Testament, I forget where, about the harlot, where she's looking for the guys that they're traveling, saying the good master is at home.
Bro, that's Proverbs.
Yeah, Proverbs. That's what this whore is trying to do, man. This whore is trying to keep you off your post. Trying to tell you, oh, the good man ain't coming, ain't bedtime, so come lay down with me for a little bit. Nah, man, I gotta be out here doing my thing, man. I gotta get this spiritual shekels, man. All right. So hey, don't fall for the trick. Don't fall into the trap of the world, and serve the Heavenly Father, man. That's your ability. So with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.